Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Control. I almost called it Alan Wake expansion again. It doesn't not mean Alan Wake expansion. Control AW. This is going to be a little bit of a different episode because this is going to be entirely post-commentary. It's the only way I could think to get my thoughts through on this clearly, and this is going to be a little bit of a heavy episode. If discussion of mental illness isn't something that you're fully down for right now, trust me, I never want to be the cause of pain for someone else, so I get if you have to skip out on it or put it on the back burner for a bit. So I've never shied away from talking about my mental health. It's a very personal thing, but I do it because I think it's important. Same reason I do a yearly charity marathon for mental health causes.
Darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now we crashed out of darkness toward Faden.
Because while it is personal, I think it's way more important that I use the platform that I've built and been blessed with to do stuff like this. Because I know how much emotional pain mental illness can cause. I know what that feels like. And I hope that by being frank about the challenges that I've fought through and how I've felt through them, that others will be able to use that productively to heal a little bit. Stigma is a nasty, nasty thing, and it is real. And it shouldn't be, because all stigmatization of mental health does is perpetuate silent suffering. I've suffered a lifetime of anxiety and depression and spent a lot of my early years not even having words for what was going on. So I just felt like, oh, this is the lot I was dealt. I guess I just have to suffer and take the little wins where I can, I guess. And I did it silently. I did it silently for like 20 years. And friends and family could see. I forgot Ati talked here, sorry. Friends and family could see that I had some pain, that I had a hard time emotionally self-regulating, but none of them really knew what was going on with me because I barely knew, and I didn't have the words or anything like that to express it. So I tried to just grit my teeth as best I could and just accept it because I could live. I could find things that made me happy. I wasn't in 24/7 misery. I just felt a lot of hurt and I couldn't really cope with it very well or fix it in any meaningful way. So I just learned to avoid as much hurt as I possibly could instead of really working through it. And y'all, nobody should have to do that. I finally got some relief when I opened up and had some clearer understanding of mental health, but that was in my early 20s. And then I still didn't really learn all the tools that I needed to fight it. I just felt a little better and more functional. And so I still didn't fully attend to my needs because, again, I just went, oh, okay, so this is what it's like to be normal. I guess I can deal with this if I could handle a worse version of this before.
Incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. Its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists, I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
Something that I found a lot of inspiration in before, but now feel like I've been taking for granted, was something that Jerry Hulkins of Penny Arcade said during, I think it was a PAX keynote or a panel at PAX or something. It was, never underestimate the extent to which you can feel better. And he knows that because he suffers from mental health issues too. And he knows that pain, that emotional pain. But he knows the relief of treating that pain too. And that inspired me. I've gone on to say it a lot, like a mantra. But what's become more clear is that for nearly 8 years, I've been taking that for granted, or for however long I've had that mantra. I've been underestimating the extent to which I can feel better, and I'm finding this out in a really difficult, emotionally painful way right now. And that's on top of COVID, the pandemic, the civil unrest, a bunch of other external stress sources that aren't making anyone's mental health better. There's a reason that depression and other mood disorders have been on the uptick over the last 6 months. It's not abnormal. There's a global traumatic event going on. But for me, I know that that only exacerbated an existing problem.
I feel right. Something in this darkness is draining me.
And things would probably have come to a boiling point sooner or later anyway, because there's something deeper at play, and it's exactly what I said before. I underestimated the extent to which I could feel better.
Shit. Now what? What is that?
Come on, elevator, time to go!
Was desperate.
Oh, that's a great design. I'm not gonna go this whole episode without commenting on the action of the game.
Touches it.
Oh man. Glad they went full monster for this one. And a good one at that. So I've never been to a therapist. 30 years of this, by the way. Never been to a therapist. Just endured. I've never really tried to find techniques and whatnot to boost my mood, to build my mental health over time. My sleep is always kind of whack, and depression kind of cost me the energy to exercise, and I didn't force it too much, if I'm being honest. And what compounds it all is that I have some big self-esteem issues. I don't bask in my victories. I don't really celebrate myself and my accomplishments. And I dwell heavily on my mistakes, my failures. I'm really hard on myself for everything, even things that aren't actually real. And I judge myself harshly for all of it. My internal monologue to myself is not very kind. So I'm going to try to do a better job of loving myself going forward, because there is a lot to love about me. And there's no reason why I should dwell so much on my shortcomings and so little on what's good in me. I'm kind. Everybody has caused pain to others at times, but I am kind. And I want to do better. And I will and have. I help people, and I value that as a quality a lot. I've done a lot of great work building a community of awesome people here, and I'm proud of that too. And this awesome community frequently raises a lot of money for charity and to help people in need. I am so proud of that. And this didn't happen by accident. Like, there is an element of luck to it, but I was a part of this. I played a big role in building this up, and I'm so happy to say that. And I'm proud that I've gotten really good at what I do at Thyself.